With Bitcoin's market cap recently hitting a new all-time high above $300 billion and the cryptocurrency market reaching a record high market cap of over $700 billion, Philip Potter, the chief strategy officer of Bitfinex, recently revealed his true feelings about the cryptocurrencies that are listed for trading on his exchange.
Nobody uses these things. They're scams. They're just speculative vehicles. I mean, we're in a speculative fervor moment. It's like the dot-com bubble, and it could go up 10x from here, all this shit, before we have that sort of reckoning.
Prior to Bitfinex's unbelievable growth that it achieved in 2017, the chief financial officer of Bitfinex, Giancarlo Devasini, unveiled his plan to make Bitfinex the #1 Bitcoin exchange in the world.
In the last weeks, I've been thinking about it, several times. Why don't we push some, wash sales into the system, and we do like almost everybody is doing, and we try to be #1 again.
On August 2nd, 2016, Bitfinex announced that its system was breached by hackers who stole 120,000 Bitcoins worth $72 million, more than 2.5 times the size of the largest cash robbery in U.S. history. Instead of filing for bankruptcy, Bitfinex survived by socializing this loss between all account holders and reducing account balances and positions by 36%. All loss amounts were converted to US dollars, and for each dollar lost, Bitfinex gave its customers a digital IOU token called BFX. On April 3rd, 2017, Bitfinex announced a 100% redemption of all remaining BFX tokens. How was it possible for Bitfinex to redeem $72 million worth of BFX IOU tokens in only 8 months?
The fastest way to get back your money, in case you don't want to be a shareholder of Bitfinex, might eventually be to convert your tokens into shares and then sell your shares to another shareholder.
For customers who refuse to convert, Bitfinex figured out a unique way to raise the funds necessary to repay them.
We are going to replace them with this other token. So in the case of BFX, we want to be able to replace it 1-for-1 on some pro rata basis, replace, shall we say, BFX tokens with Tether tokens.
Tether is a cryptocurrency designed to be tethered to the US dollar and supposedly backed by real US dollars held in a bank account somewhere. After selling less than $7 million of Tether during the first 27 months of its existence, Bitfinex at the start of 2017 printed $48 million of Tether tokens in only 3 months, increasing the amount of Tether tokens outstanding by nearly 700%. As new Tether tokens were printed, BFX tokens were repurchased by Bitfinex and retired from distribution. Bitfinex successfully repaid its BFX IOU tokens by printing Tether tokens. Legally, only the Federal Reserve is allowed to print US dollars, but Tether is a crypto version of the US dollar, and Philip Potter has turned Bitfinex into the central bank of cryptocurrencies.
Okay, so just to address the FUD surrounding this, yes, we, Bitfinex, are majority owners of Tether. This is true, but Tether is a completely segregated entity. Dollars are all there. Everything. I mean, there's no breaches there. It's like everything there is 100% kosher. We take great pains to make sure it is. So, I don't know what else I could do to make people feel comfortable about that.
Originally, the FAQ page on Tether's website stated that Tether currency is redeemable for cash at any time. However, Tether in 2017 changed their part of the FAQ page to now say, Tethers are redeemable and exchangeable pursuant to Tether limited terms of service. According to Section 3 of Tether's new terms of service, there is no contractual right or other right or legal claim against us to redeem or exchange your Tethers for money.
We've had banking hiccups in the past. We've just, we've always been able to route around it or deal with it, open up new accounts or what have you, shift to a different corporate entity. There've been lots of sort of cat and mouse tricks that everybody in the Bitcoin industry has to avail themselves of.
Despite Bitfinex failing to regain access to the banking system, as soon as Bitcoin began to weaken at the end of May, Bitfinex flooded the crypto economy with $60 million worth of new Tether tokens. This caused Bitcoin's sell-off to end quickly, with Bitcoin rapidly exploding afterwards to new all-time highs. Between June 16th and July 18th, as Bitcoin dipped 36% from its record high, Bitfinex flooded the crypto community with $180 million of new Tether tokens, thereby increasing the total outstanding supply by 124% and causing Bitcoin to explode 163% higher over the following 7 weeks to a new all-time high of more than $4,900. In the first half of September, as Bitcoin sold off by 39% in 12 days, Bitfinex printed Tether at the fastest rate in history, issuing an average of $10 million worth of new Tether tokens per day. After bottoming on November 12th, the $80 million of phantom liquidity added by Bitfinex caused Bitcoin to stage a shocking turnaround. 4 days later, with Bitcoin trading back above $7,400, an impatient Bitfinex gave Bitcoin an added boost by printing another $20 million of Tether. This had an unmistakable effect on Bitcoin by causing it to instantly explode by $300 to a new all-time high, followed by momentum traders chasing it up nearly $8,000. Bitfinex's dangerous and destructive act of greed on November 16th of printing money into a perfectly balanced market finally caused Tether to become destabilized, with its US dollar price immediately declining to only 98 cents. Despite this major warning sign, the very next day after Bitcoin failed to break through the $8,000 level and began to sell off, Bitfinex printed another $60 million worth of Tether. On November 20th, Tether suddenly crashed in price to a low of 90 cents per token. Instead of repurchasing Tether tokens in the open market to support its price at $1 and reduce the outstanding supply, Bitfinex once again blamed its latest crisis on hackers and claimed that over 30 million of its newly issued Tether tokens got stolen from their Tether Treasury wallet. Bitfinex promised not to redeem any of the stolen tokens, a laughable statement considering the legitimate Tether holders have never been able to redeem a single token in history. It was recently discovered that the 2017 rise in Bitcoin prices as a result of Bitfinex's manipulation and printing of unbacked Tether tokens was planned years in advance by Bitfinex CFO Giancarlo Devasini. On June 22, 2014, somebody asked Giancarlo on the Bitcoin Talk forums, "Can you get a Willy bot like Carpely is already and take us to $10,000? Giancarlo responded by saying that he is currently working on it.
I had a nice chat with Mt. Gox CEO Mark Karpeles about their current situation. He showed me multiple bank statements as well as letters from banks and lawyers. I'm sure that all the current withdrawal problems at Mt. Gox are being caused by the traditional banking system, not because of a lack of liquidity at Mt. Gox.
Back in 2013, Mt. Gox was the world's most dominant Bitcoin exchange, and its CEO Mark Karpeles created a trading bot called Willy that controlled 49 Mt. Gox accounts that were each credited with a total of nearly 112 million newly printed US dollars, including 46 accounts that received matching amounts of either $2 million or $2.5 million. Between September 27th and November 30th to 2013, Mt. Gox's Willy bot acquired approximately 268,000 Bitcoins in 7,000 separate buy orders, with 90% of them occurring in exact intervals of between 5 and 15 minutes. The more Bitcoins that Willy purchased in a day, the larger Bitcoin prices would gain that day, with Bitcoin declining on days that Willy was inactive. Mt. Gox has successfully manipulated the price of Bitcoin from $126 up to $1,120 for a gain of 789% in 2 months.
They haven't answered anybody's support requests. They seem to have just taken people's money. They've taken my money.
Right.
I'm kind of pretty annoyed about that. So I thought I'd come here, try and find out what's going on, hopefully speak to the CEO or speak to someone who knows what they're doing. Can I have a chat with you? I'm not touching you. Can I have a chat with you? Okay, I came all the way from London, to try and get my Bitcoins from you to find out what's happening.
There's no problem with Bitcoin. You can't do anything right now.
No, you can give people their Bitcoins back if you wanted to. If you wanted to, you can give me mine back right now.
No, can't right now find
you can do that, you can do it right now.
Anything for 60% away from the issue of war.
That's simply not true, is it? So do you still have the Bitcoin? Do you still have everyone's Bitcoins?
Let me get this side.
Do you still have everyone's Bitcoins?
I'm going to close the place.
Go for it. I'm not touching you. I haven't touched you. So do you still have everyone's Bitcoins?
When is coming from?